An old discussion I had from years ago still haunts me. I found that the general consensus to be that nurture trumped nature. Years later, I still disagree. The main point of those believing in nurturers comes from Aristotle's tabula rasa, a concept I hear tossed around from time to time today. This concept has since been marred by the general cynicism of men who intentionally or otherwise sought to express the bitterness of man. When we speak of tabula rasa, one must imagine a state of something. Even the concept of a third-dimensional state in the mind could at its most basic be made of ether. And of what size and dimensions may the slate be formed in? A diamond slate cannot be scratched as a slate of linoleum. A slate of paper would incinerate before heat, but a slate of clay may harden. Any material or impurity therein, which would be the nature of the slate, affects how it can be inscribed upon. If the tablet itself should be subject to nurture, then two tablets of the same substance should be transformed the same by the same input. We can see in twins coming from the same egg, under the same roof for years, being vastly different people as infants. If nurture reigns supreme, the baby should be nearly identical in general disposition. Where did the nurture become so extremely disproportionate that the children should be even completely at odds with one another? The farther back one peers to say it was nutrients in the womb, it was discrepancies in treatment by the mother immediately after birth, does one attempt to absorb all nature under the umbrella of nurture. To those who think this may be the case, they might find themselves in league with Descartes. How miserable a world was perceived by Descartes when he wrote, "For our senses really perceive that alone which is most coarse and common. Our natural instinct is entirely corrupted." Man so often sees in the world that which he finds himself. To a man of nihilism and pain, nature seems a Herzogian apophis of overwhelming misery, overwhelming lack of order. Our senses, our instincts can be overridden, but when we ask what is overriding the instinct, one can either conclude that there is only revision upon revision of Genungagap, in which all power has been consumed by randomness screeching through the mortal coils of physical law. Or, if there be a shred of spirit within the heart, then that must be the greater self, that is the one who commands these altering forces in our lives. The nature of our souls remain ardent against the veils of human limitation. Chaos exists as the polarity of the cosmic order created by a conscious nature. If anything should exist and be conscious, it is only because nature, order, light, and all other related concepts reign ever so gently supreme over the chaos that gives host to beingness. All are always free to loose the reins and allow themselves to continually be written upon by chaos. But the more that light is cultivated within the self, the more that one is able to write upon their own tablet. One becomes the emperor and empress. Life and death incarnate in context. Yes, I understand that I have reiterated Locke's position on this discussion. But the world today furthers the need for this understanding, especially when I have seen so many Descartesians amongst us. For Locke expressed a basic identity as a human. In his era, this may have been more prevalent, but to all who begin to awaken to the potential of humanity as it is and where it is headed, there is greater need to break the boundaries of what it means to be human. Who is to say what is possible for humanity? Physically, we have in our Western history continued growth in all respects. Athletes get better, science advances, new fields of technology are created. So too are humans growing spiritually, and as this grows, we are evolving. We have at our fingertips more of the innate cosmic magic that allows us to alter the world than ever before. Think bigger. Think about what you think is impossible, and understand that nothing is impossible for a human. The boundaries of humanity are expanding. If we go back to being a tablet, if you can realize that you can write your own story, imprint yourself by your own cosmic magic, you can write anything. We all know we could write a story of anything. I'm sure you've consumed fictitious material. You too are a story that you are writing. What boundaries are there for you?